SQL Server and SQL Server Management Studio. Has everyone installed? Okay, great. From online, Deepa, Navya, Likhita, have you guys installed SQL Server?
Yes, sir.
Yes? Great. Okay. So let's start for the today's class then. Okay. So when we will open our SQL Server Management Studio, now first thing what we need to do, first go to the search bar and search here SQL Server Management Studio. Okay. So after searching SQL Server Management Studio, you will get this app here, SQL Server Management Studio 20, because this is a 2020 edition. Okay. So when you click on open, you will get this interface. Okay. So this is the interface of what? SSMS, SQL Server Management Studio. Okay. Let me open this one. I think it's loading. Okay. So let me tell you what are the elements or what are the things you can see on the SQL Server Management Studio. Okay. So if I click on this drop down, after clicking on this drop down, I can see the number of databases that I have created. Okay. So because we can create n number of databases in our SQL Server, n number of databases we can create on our SQL Server. Okay. And how we will understand that on which database we are making changes or on which database we are working? How we will understand? We will understand from here. Okay. So at the top right corner, you can see here master is written. So master is a by default database. Master is a by default database. So if you are not working on any particular database or you are just simply writing any queries, then all those queries will get saved in this master database. So this is the by default database. Okay. Like suppose you are having a, for example, let's take an example for my own company. Okay. So my company is a transportation company. So in my company, we are working on a lot many databases. Like the dispatcher team is having their own databases. In the dispatcher database, they will be storing information for the customers from which department or from which shop we are picking up the load and to which shop we are delivering it. What is the cost we are charging that? All those details were stored in the dispatcher database. For safety, there is another database. Server is same, but in that server we can store different databases or we can create different databases. If you have to take one simple example, now we are suppose you are having a 64 GB memory card. Now that memory card is nothing but a server for you, where you will be storing all the details, right? So in that memory card, you can create different folders. Can you create or not? Yes, you can create different folders. Like suppose if you are storing some documents, then you will create documents folder. If you went for some trip, then you will create a UT named folder and you will store all the photos inside it. Got it? So that 64 GB memory is nothing but a server for you to store all the details. Now, while storing the details, you can create different folders, and in that different folders, you can store different information. So same thing goes here. So SQL Server is a storage, and while storing all the details, we can create different databases there. And in that database, we can create different tables and we can store the information. Got it? And where you can see on which database we are working? Here. Master. Okay. So master is a by default database. So SQL is having 4 default databases. One is a master, another is a model, third is a MSDB, and last one is a tempdb. These are the 4 by default databases. I will tell you in the introduction. No worries about that. When I will be explaining all these things, I'm having the separate notebook, I think, for this. Let me see. Introduction. Just a minute. Let me open that file where I will introduce with these databases. Yeah, come in. Just a minute. Okay. So this is the, from this left right corner, we can see our database name. Where are we working? Okay. Then next, also here we can see our database name, and also here we can see our database name. Suppose if I want to change the database name, I can click on the drop down and I can change my database and I can start working on it. Okay. So from where I can get the database names? From here. Okay. We will see there are 4 system defined databases I have explained here. So we'll come back to this slide and we will learn this. Okay. But before that, let's have an overview of the SQL Server Management Studio. Now, for many of you, you might be getting this Object Explorer at the left side, left hand side. Where can you see Object Explorer? These things for left hand side, right? So I have docked down so I can see at the bottom side, but you might be seeing at the left side. Okay. So when you see Object Explorer, in this Object Explorer, the first line is showing that desktop dash J2MNS5Y / SQL Express. This name may be vary for you. Okay. For you, you have downloaded developer version. So you might be seeing here developer option in place of SQL Express. Now I am working on SQL Express. So for me, it's showing SQL Express. Everyone is on the same page. Okay. So this is my server name from desktop dash J2MNS5 / SQL Express. This is my server